Good morning, beloveds. I was hoping that if I had you here, you could kind of see out the window here. But the lighting's kind of super weird. So here, let's turn around so you can see my Art Deco background. And now I have to not bump the table because I bought a different tripod and my phone doesn't fit. So I know that it is not morning, but good morning, beloveds. It is still technically morning here. It is it's 11:30. But I wanted to do this, and you are looking at a ordained minister. I passed my ordination panels, so well, I guess I still have to go through the ceremony, but yay! So it's all good. All right, it is January 18th. I know that I understand how to speak the word of truth. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. That is John 6:63. And where do name and form both cease and turn to utter nothingness? And the answer is in consciousness, invisible, infinite, of radiance, bright. Buddhism in translations. All the objects in the world are one and the same, are of one reality, have nothing to do with the modes of particularization, and are not of dualistic character, the awakening of faith. This lesson tells us that the objective world is quickened by the indwelling spirit. The words of truth are life unto every form which they animate. All words which are spoken in a realization of the divine nature are words of truth, and all such words give life. It is the spirit that quickeneth. Our lesson also tells us that all objects, that is the entire objective universe, comes from one substance. This substance is differentiated. That is, manifest in many forms. It looks as though the cause were dual because the forms are all different, but our lesson clearly states that we must not fall under this delusion, which is of a dualistic character, but rather penetrate the unity back of all form. In our texts from Buddhism, we have the idea that there is a place where both the objective name and form cease to exist as things in themselves. There is an invisible consciousness which radiates all forms. This does not mean a denial of the objective world, but rather an affirmation. That is, an effect projected from, by, and within a transcendent cause which has complete control over it. I know that I understand how to speak the word of truth. I know that the invisible power of spirit is with me. I know that my world is peopled with forms of light, with the divine radiance. I know that I am a perfect being living under perfect conditions with other perfect beings in a perfect God. And I have no idea what I just read. I'm distracted. I'm just really happy. But I will remind you that you heard me say perfect a number of times right there. Remember that perfect means whole. All right? Perfect means whole. So, I know that I understand how to speak the word of truth. This is what we work on in Science of Mind constantly. How do you speak the word of truth? Open your mouth. Absolutely, open your mouth. And listen to the small, still voice within you. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. It is John. It's John. When we do treatments, it's the spirit that responds to that. And it is the spirit that then profits the body. So it's the spirit that responds to the words you speak. If your spirit isn't responding to the words that you speak, perhaps you're using somebody else's words. Use your own. And where do name and form both cease and turn to utter nothingness? The answer is in consciousness, invisible and infinite, of radiant bright. Okay, it's Buddhism. I'll let you think about that one. All the objects in the world are of one and the same taste, are of one reality, have nothing to do with the modes of particularization, and are not of dualistic characters, the awakening of faith. All right, which he tells you in the body of the text, we're all made of the same thing. All made of the same substance. and that substance is God. Spirit, love. This lesson tells us that the objective world is quickened by the indwelling Spirit. The words of truth are life unto every form which they animate. All words which are spoken in a realization of the divine nature are words of truth. Nope, thought I had one more. Okay, this lesson tells us the objective world is quickened by the indwelling Spirit, which is what John was. John was, it's not the body that responds, it's the Spirit within the body that responds. It's the Spirit that animates the body. The words of truth are life unto every form which they animate. Did I not just say that? All words which are spoken in a realization of the divine nature. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. If the words you are using do not quicken your soul, they do not resonate with you, then choose new words or choose old words. Choose your own words. Or is there a poet or a song or that resonates with you? Use those words. Use the words that make your spirit move, make your spirit dance. In realization of the divine nature are words of truth, and all such words give life. All such words give life. It is the Spirit that quickeneth. Our lesson also tells us that all objects, that is, the entire objective universe, comes from one substance. We've talked about this before. It's all God. It's all good. It's the use we make of it. This substance is differentiated. That is, manifest in many forms. Okay? That's the infinite variety around us, but it's the same source. It looks as though the cause were dual because the forms are all different, but our lesson clearly states that we must not fall under this delusion, which is of dualistic character. Okay? Not two, one. But rather penetrate the unity back of all form. We want to see that Spirit that animates everything, that love, that God, that Atman. What word do you want to use? That's where truth lies. Behind the appearance. Behind the material. There is... Oh, wait. I skipped a line. In our text from Buddhism, we have the idea that there is a place where both the objective name and form cease to exist as things in and of themselves. There is an invisible consciousness which radiates all form. Which is one of the things that I talk about. It's like when we're working on things, it's like go back to God's idea. Go back to God's idea, because God's idea is perfect. God's idea is whole. God's idea is complete. Therefore, and then let the material nature rearrange itself to that. Because it happens. It's possible. There is an invisible consciousness which radiates from all forms. This does not mean a denial of the objective world, because we don't deny the objective world. We live in the objective world. We enjoy the objective world. We're supposed to. We're here to experience, to live, to have fun. But rather an affirmation that it is an effect projected from, by, within a transcendent cause, which is a complete control over it. All right, beloveds. So, I know that I understand how to speak the word of truth. It comes from within you. You already know all the words that you need. You don't have to go learn them. You already have them. It's about trust. I know that the invisible power of the Spirit is with me. I know that my world is peopled with forms of light, which is why we look in each other's eyes and see God looking back at us with the divine radiance. I know that I am a perfect being living under perfect conditions with other perfect beings in a perfect God. And every time you heard me say perfect, think whole. Think whole. Because I know that perfect can be a trigger word for people. It used to be for me. All right. The mission today. Should we choose to accept them? Accept it. Oh. I don't know. How about this one? To know that our world is peopled with forms of light, with divine radiance, that you will never look into the eyes of someone that God does not love, that you will always look into the eyes and see God looking back at you. I think that's the mission today. But I'm at a CSL convention, so, All right. I'm also going to encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. It can be as small as 3 to 8 breaths and as big as running away to California for your ordination, which is what I did today. Yay! So, yeah. It is a spiritual practice. It is a habit. It is a default setting that by practicing it, you are creating. If you can be loving, kind, and compassionate with yourself, you can do it for anybody. It is the truth. So please do that for yourself. Give yourself that gift. Create that bank of love, of kindness, of compassion, so that you have it when you need it to share. All right. There's a lot going on. I want you to have an amazing day, a wondrous day, an enchanting day, a great day, a fantastic day. I've already had one and it's just barely started. So I'm going to go back and hold the high watch for the rest of the panelists. Take care of yourself. Know that you're loved. And know that if having a great day is too much pressure, have a good day or just simply have a day. But I'm a little wired, so yay. All right. Take care of yourself. And I will see you. I'll try and be closer to 9 a.m. tomorrow in Texas time. All right, beloveds. See you next time.